So this is the documentation part of the video tutorial series. So let's just get right into it. Your general tab. So I'll be explaining all the functions for this. Server address. This is the IP. You can either use the domain or the numeric number to connect to a server. It can be without a port and it can be with a port. Premium. You check this box if the server requires a premium account, and you unselect it if it does not. Account path. So for your alts, you're going to want to open a notepad such as this, and you're going to want to format it such as this. You're going to want email password, email password, email password. You're going to want one on each line. You do not want any hidden spaces on the back. It will severely mess up your alts. So I have hidden spaces here. So if all three of these accounts worked, for example, the first one would not because there are hidden spaces. You always want to look for these because it will more than likely mess up your alts. So once you have that set up in a notepad, you're going to want to save it. Then you're going to want to click set on here and navigate to the path where that is and click it. So linear or random, this will select from your alts list, depending on which setting. Linear will go straight down the line and random will randomly use alts. Max accounts, this is how many accounts you want to play simultaneously online. Throttling delay, the time between the bot attempting to connect in MS, which is milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds, which is the delay used here, is 1 second, so they would join 1 second per. Most servers, if they say too fast login, throttling delay enabled, that means you want to use at least a 5-second delay, which is 5000 ms you would put there. Connected message is what message you want the bots to say when it joins the server. So for instance, I have a hub connect message set here, so once it joins a hub server, it will do server factions. Check accounts. This checkbox here is account checking that makes the blocks for invalid logins last less. However, it may result in more frequent IP blocks and might flag your account as invalid. If you're having problems, you would want to disable this, but if you do have invalid alts, it will give you a longer IP ban for Mojang, so you're going to want to make sure your alts all work. Alright, so the settings tab. Alright, reconnect. The bot can be reconnected with the same account. Use sprint. If the bot's allowed to sprint, it will sprint if its hunger is adequate. Max fall. This is how many blocks the bot can fall over, such as example, a ledge. Use proxies if you want to enable the proxy usage with connecting the bots. Max proxy retries, how many times the bot will try and use a certain proxy. Max same proxy, how many alts will connect to a proxy each. Login threads, how many system resources that will be devoted towards looking for valid proxies. Load plugins, this will load your plugins tab right here, which will allow you to use them. So load world, this will generate the world for all your accounts. You're going to need this for NC plus movements, which is a no cheat plus. You're going to want to use this for any sort of movement activity. You will need load worlds enabled. It is used for pathfinding. Shared world allows the bots to use each other's shared world. This should make your resource usage less if you're using load world, but it might break some plugins, so please be careful when using that. Load chat, this will load the chat for your bot, useful for plugins such as ChatSpot. Load inventory, this will load the bot's inventory, allow you to do things such as the drop command. Load entities, this will allow you to do things such as hitting or looking at a mob. And load players will load the players. You'll need this for shield aura. Load mobs, you'll need this for other functions. Shared world can save memory. It should be used for static worlds and can't be used with plugins that mine blocks. So the botting tab. Here you can make the bots do simple or advanced functions. The left top, select the bots which should do the commands. You can either click all for all bots or none for no bots. Left bottom, that's all the commands the bot can do. Right is the currently active commands. If you want to clear all the commands, you can click clear. And if you want to clear a selected command, you just left click it, you click clear selected. Okay, chat will send a chat message. Spam will send a chat message repeatedly. If the server has an anti-spam, you click this box and it will spawn a random 5 long numerical at the end of the message. So respawn will respawn all your bots if they've been killed. Disconnect will disconnect the bot from the server. Drop will allow you to drop items that the bot has. So if you want to drop everything, leave item IDs empty. If you want to drop a certain item and nothing else, put the item ID in there. Drop delays in milliseconds, so it would drop each item in half a second. If you want to enable them to drop full stack at a time, keep that checked. Path will enable the bot to move to the specified coordinates. Set hotbar slot. This will change the bot's hotbar. So this is the first slot. If you want to change it, you can increase the value or decrease it. Move direction. This will allow you to move the bot in all 4 of the cardinal directions. Use held will make the bot use whatever it's in his hand. Right click. Click Windows slot. Clicks the specified slot in an open storage screen. So for instance, if you have a GUI of /server, then it will click whatever slot it is. This is slightly different. So the first slot in a chest, for example, will be 0 instead of 1. There is a picture that will give you an informative overview of this if you need it here. So use block. It right clicks a block at a specified coordinate. You will need to use looking at coordinates for this. So here are some tips. If you are on a hub server and they have a compass, to navigate the compass on a hub server, you can use these commands. Set hotbar slot selects the compass. Use held right clicks the compass and click Windows slot, which selects the server. So let's moving on here. We have in chat there are variables you can use in chat commands. So if you type %player% in your message, it will substitute that with a random player's name from the server. If you put %random%, it will put a random number in there. If you do server, it will do the current server's IP, and if you do me, it will do the bot's name. For example, hello player, random is my favorite number. Kill aura. So once you have your plugins loaded, you're going to want to go here. You're going to double click Shield Aura, which is the Kill Aura plugin. So these are the settings. Owner name / UUID is the name or the UID that the bots will follow and will not attack. Attack speed is how fast the bot attacks. Miss rate out of 100 should be how often does the bot miss, which could be useful for evading anti-cheat plugins. Friendly name / UUID should be usually people in your faction or group that you do not want the bot to attack. These are separated by spaces and can allow multiple. Auto-equip best armor? Well, if you have this checked, the bot will attempt to equip the best armor it has. Same with best weapon. There are modes such as passive and aggressive. Passive will just make the bots follow you and attack anyone who gets close, but if you select it to aggressive, if someone gets close to you, the bots will attempt to follow them for a short distance while attacking them, and will enable the bots to have sort of an outreach in their mode. Okay, so that's it for Shield Aura. Raid alerts. So that is this one. A Raid Alerts plugin notifies the user through Discord if there are explosions, withers, creepers, or players in range of the bot. So the settings here, your Discord name that the bot should notify, name and ID of the user that the bot should notify. User must be in the support group, which is our Discord. You have to be in our Discord to use this. So you can either use your Discord and it will PM you a raid alert if it detects one, or you could do a server name, such as, for example, OQ.support, separated by the channel name with an @ symbol. So this, if a raid alert is detected, it will output it in OQ.support.general. The bot will need to be admin for this. So local notifications, it shows notifications of a raid alert on the bottom right of your screen if one's detected. These are the settings you can enable if you want to do specific things, such as detecting withers, creepers, players, explosions. Friendly UIDs, this is mainly used for player notifications. So if your faction member, for instance, is in your base and you have raid alerts set up for your base, it won't detect them if you have them here. To add the bot easily to your Discord channel, which you must have administrative permissions for, just click the add bot link and it will show you how. farming. So this is mainly for the sugarcane farmer plugin. It will mine grown blocks and store the farmed items once full. Plugin does not store food, and it can be used with AutoMeter. So the settings, your radius X is the top one. The radius around the initial bot spawn that will look around. So before you start the bot, wherever it is, this is the radius in which we'll look around. It does not automatically update. So if you want to change the radius, you're going to have to stop it and restart it. The radius will be wherever the bot is at that point. Radius X is how far and wide the bot can search for sugarcane from its starting position. And your radius Y is how much above or below the sugarcane you can meet from its starting position. So the speed modes you're going to want are accurate and fast. Accurate will be a slower mode, but will enable you to catch all the sugarcane. Fast can sometimes be a little bit inaccurate and won't catch all the sugarcane, but it will move much faster. AutoMeter. This plugin will eat food when hungry or eat apples when low HP if it's enabled. So there are two settings here. Eat when hunger is below X. You would put -1 to disable, and eat apples when below X HP. We'll put -1 to disable. So at a certain HP, if the bot's below it, it will start eating golden apples. With hunger, if the bot's below normal food, it will eat them at a certain point which you can set. So area miner, this one's going to be a doozy. The bot can mine a specific area. The area can be specified in the plugin's configuration. Common issues. The bots mine from top to bottom. That means that the bots have to be standing on top of the area, and it does not mine bottom to up, so it has to be above what you want to mine. That means that the area that you specify have to have at least 2 free blocks standable above it. So these are the settings here. Start X, Y, and Z, which will always start, and where you want it to end. So these are using the looking at coordinates, so you can get those from your F3 on 1.8 plus. If you use regular coordinates, this will not work. The bots do have to be on top of the block. It has to have at least 2 free spaces. The format is XYZ with spaces in between them. And you can specify a macro to do when the bot's inventory is full, such as sell all, let's clear inventory, or any other macro. So there are 2 speed modes, accurate and fast. Accurate will mine the blocks more accurately. It will drop them less times than accurate will, and we'll try and pick them up. Fast mode will mine the blocks faster, but it might miss some blocks. So you're going to want to choose whichever one works for you. So that is all the documentation for all the settings and all the tabs here. What I haven't covered is the accounts tab and the about tab. So the accounts tab is a tab which can allow you to see if your bot's connected, their username, their entity data such as their health and their food, what plugins you can run on it, and their status such as banned, dead, disconnected. Your about tab will show you your connection to the server, if your status is online, what version the bot is. So that's all there is to be covered. I hope you have thought this tutorial video series to be useful. If you have any more questions, we're available on the Discord, and you can contact us on Skype. Thanks for watching.